The suits. There are four suits. There are four seasons. There's 13 cards in each suit. There's 13 weeks in each season. When you add up all the cards in each suit, you get 91. You multiply that by 4 to get 364. And then again, remember the Joker is 5/4, and 5/4 plus 364 is 365 and a quarter, matching our yearly calendar. So just want to run you through the suits, the basics of it, and then the numbers. So we have hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades in the cardology world. These have been with us pretty standardized for at least a couple hundred years now. So starting with the hearts. So our hearts are representing spring and fire in terms of seasons and elements. And this is really like our youthful period, represents our family, it represents relationships, what we love, emotional issues in childhood, our first 13 years of life. These people use their feelings. People who are hearts are feelings based. They generally might take professions up with children. In terms of some of the issues they might have issues with family, love, or even sex. They might be too indulgent at times and sometimes lazy. They might be seeking the perfect relationship. And then you'll see like heart cards in the spreads represent like childbirth, marriage, divorce, parenthood. On a positive side, they're very loving people, caring and compassionate. On the negative side, they could withhold love, be self-absorbed, have addictions, have anger, and they really relate to people through their feelings. Next, we have clubs. So the second suit, summer and air, is what the clubs represent. And when you think of clubs, you have to think of knowledge, you have to think of the mind, school, adolescence, communication, our thoughts, really being up in our mind, mentalizing our experiences here, and like any mental pursuits. So a lot of clubs are going to be living in their head, and they're going to have issues regarding their concepts of the world versus reality. And they really will experience a world where words matter more to them, spelling matters more to them, the truth matters more to them, the knowledge, truth. This stuff matters more to them than acquiring material goods or even relationships sometimes. Their whole goal is to acquire knowledge and information. It does represent the adolescence period where you're going to school, you're gaining new knowledge, ideas, and these people always want to learn. So whenever you see these cards in your spread, it's about knowledge, new information, learning the status of your mind, your communication styles, writing ability or skills. Positively, these people ask a lot of questions. They're intellectual. They're questing for the truth. On the negative side, they're possibly distorting facts, ignoring their emotions for sure, and argumentative based on what card they have, based on what number of their club. Okay, diamonds. So diamonds represent the autumn and water. So the autumn season and the water element. And really, diamonds represent money and values. So people, a lot of times when they study cardology, I think they forget about the values part of diamonds, and this is something to really consider whenever you see diamonds in your spread. And of course, it represents our material world. It also represents our adulthood. There's a saying about diamonds people that they're like grown-ups right when they're born. Basically, you can't talk to them like they're children. There are the autumn babies, so they're not a heart, which is the youngest, and they're really focused on their values, prosperity, money, finances, and I think for the diamonds people, the important thing for them to understand on the positive side is like recognize spiritual and material responsibility. Their big lessons usually come with the values they hold, and you'll see that show up a lot for them. A lot of diamonds people are so focused on money they can't help it. It's how they see things, but their goal here is really to dive more into the spiritual world and not be in the negative so much, which would be like being trapped in materialism. But these people, they're the salespeople of the spreads. They're the promoters. They're the big spenders. They love acquiring. They love acquisition. Even if you look at like the King of Diamonds, he's the king of acquisition. Look at the face card of that card. He has a bunch of things. The Jack of Diamonds is a salesperson. He's able to sell goods to everyone. So, diamonds is money, values, material world. And then spades, the old souls of the spreads. They are the winter and earth. Their cards, when they show up, are more about work, lifestyle, wisdom, consciousness, spirituality, labor, so work again. And always think of the spade as an acorn that falls to the ground in the winter but creates new forms of consciousness and knowledge. These people usually are working too much. They don't pay enough attention to their inner life, to their relationships, their heart. And they delve into the work world because it's easier for them. They're just the workers of the deck, and that's what gets them in trouble usually, is they don't dive into the spiritual aspects that they have. The spades, most spades people, they are psychic if they want to use it, and that's the side of life that they really need to look into. I'm a 2 of spades. I love working. It is hard to sit alone and just be with my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions. I can mentalize relationships. And yes, I love working, and if they overwork a lot of times, they can physically have issues, spiritually have issues. But, positively, these people, they can align with higher purposes. They can be very spiritual and very psychic. They could use those skills to make money, to be successful in this material world. And negatively, they'll have control issues and only focus on their work. So they're serious and hard workers, but there's a lot of success that comes from them evolving into the spiritual and really like bringing consciousness to others. So that's a little bit about the suits.